Hi guys, it's Megan here, the faithful fibromyalgia warrior. Finally back home in Colchester, England. So I actually got back, I arrived in the afternoon of Wednesday, April 10th. Today is Saturday the 13th. And even although the jet lag didn't really affect me too badly the first couple of days, I am definitely feeling the effects of it a bit now. But it is great to be home. We had really good friends taking care of the house, the dogs, checking in with our son. So it was great. I got to come back to a nice clean house, virtually no laundry to be done, and well cared for and looked after pets as well as son. So that was really nice. My husband arrives, he lands at Heathrow later this afternoon, and he should be home later on, and he'll be home later today, after traveling through North America for work for the last 2.5 months. Now, I don't know if it's just coincidence. I don't think it necessarily is. But as soon as I landed in Colchester, as soon as I landed at Heathrow, I noticed a difference in the air quality, of course. But not only that, I came home and just drank some fresh water from our tap. Oh my gosh, what a difference. So if you didn't see my other videos, I talked about how the water quality is very different. The standards of quality are very different in the States, even Canada, compared to what it is here in the UK. And so they do treat their water so that they meet enough regulations in order to be considered safe, but it doesn't mean it's optimal as far as the tap water. And if you're not used to it, you can really be affected by it. So I think between oxalate dumping, as my thyroid is finally beginning to function at an optimal level, on top of being exposed to air pollution and different qualities of food and water from what I get here, what I'm used to back in England, definitely affected me. Now, it was an amazing trip. We saw some cool stuff. We did some great things together. I had a blast. 2 weeks in New York City, 4 days in Toronto over Easter, and then a week in New Orleans. And it was great. You know, people were very cool, very welcoming. We had found some great places to eat food when we did eat out, and then otherwise we were buying at the grocery store and making it ourselves. So it was a fantastic trip, absolutely. However, I had never had and you guys probably saw it on my face in some of my videos, but my skin has never reacted like that before in my life. Whether it was from a sunburn, even going through puberty and breaking, the typical breakouts and acne was never as bad as it was all over my face, like all here and down on both sides, my nose, my forehead. It was just red and bumpy and blotchy, and it was just uncomfortable, and it was irritating and itchy and just felt awful. And again, I think a lot of that is the result of oxalate dumping. I've always had rosacea where, I get flushed easily. Spicy food, alcohol, extreme heat and cold make my cheeks go red, but I'd never had that rash-like breakout appearance before, ever. Not even when I had chicken pox as a kid. And so I was trying to figure out what it was. What did I do wrong? Because I've not veered at all off the carnivore path. It was not because of carnivore. It was not because I was lacking any nutrients. As I say, I'm very confident. It was a combination of, because I've been using iodine drops to help just not take my thyroid function from hypothyroid, from underfunctioning a few years ago, to what's considered normal range to optimal range, just to continue to help with the last bit of digestive and metabolism issues. In other words, the IBS I was still dealing with, etc. Because all those things are controlled by the thyroid. So I started taking iodine. I had massive amounts of energy. I felt fantastic. My face, though, was starting to break out a bit with a rash. And that was just before I left on my holiday that I just spent the last month enjoying. So just before that is when I noticed the bumps starting to really break out. And then it dawned on me, as my thyroid is now functioning optimally, and as it is now at a place where it can finally dump the last of the oxalates in my body from all of the years of spinach and broccoli and high oxalate foods that I've eaten, that seems to be the most reasonable explanation. That last bit of oxalate being forced out of my body. And why it was so bad when I happened to just be in the States? Coincidence? Perhaps. I don't know. Could it be a reaction to a bit of a reaction to their tap water? Maybe. To the difference in the air quality? Perhaps. But it persisted in Toronto, and I noticed it was still there to a large extent in New Orleans. So whether it was environmental or not, I'm not sure. Possibly. But now it seems to be finally healing. And maybe it just needed that 3 to 4 weeks to work out of my system. It's now starting to finally clear up, which is great. It's not 100% gone. It's like 95% cleared up. And I don't feel like I want to scratch my face off all the time. So that's good. But it is nice to be home, to be able to drink water from the tap and not have it taste funny and not have to worry that it's going to make me have cramps or feel sick later, which we were warned, not so much in New York City. It just didn't taste right to me. It tasted very metallic to me, which is why I started drinking only bottled water or purified water as opposed to tap water. But we were told by several people in New Orleans who are from New Orleans, don't drink the water from the tap. It tastes terrible and it will probably make you feel unwell. So we're having locals advise us not to drink the water. So again, they treat it so it's deemed safe, but that doesn't mean it's optimal. And I guess I just wanted to say that that's just life sometimes, isn't it? Right? Just because something is considered safe doesn't mean it's ideal for us. And so for me, I had opportunities to eat all of the carby side things, all the biscuits, the gravies, the cakes, the beignets as they call them in New Orleans, all the fried this and the southern specialty that's. And it looked great. Now, I'll be honest with you, I didn't actually struggle to eat those things overall, but it just reminded me that although I'm at a place where that stuff doesn't really tempt me anymore, I know there's a lot of you guys that are still tempted by those things. And it's hard not to be when it's such a part of everyday diet, eating, and life. And so I'm definitely back. I stayed strict carnivore the whole time. I did not have any cheats, any slips, nothing. I'm not, please, and I don't want anyone to feel bad if they have, but it just gave me a reminder of, how hard it is for so many people to make the right choices when there's so much on offer. When we were at this really great place in New York City that made great, really awesome burgers. Like they called it Keto. They had one called Keto My Heart. And, it had brisket and bacon and pulled pork on top of burger patties and some avocado on the side, which I didn't eat because I don't eat that stuff personally. But we were speaking to our server, and my husband sort of gave me some props and said, hey, she only eats meat and eggs. No, literally, only meat and eggs. She doesn't eat bread, she doesn't eat veg, she doesn't eat any of that. No sodas, nothing. And he was like, oh, wow, that's so amazing. So you just eat meat and eggs. And so my burger, the amount of meat and egg that was on my plate, for somebody who's relatively small, He probably thought it was for my husband at one point. And of course I ate all of it, which is great. He just kind of was like, you ate it all? Wow, okay. But he himself said that for him, it's sugar. Now, he didn't look overweight. He was fairly young. And at this point, it hasn't caught up with him. But he said his biggest challenge is soda. And he doesn't drink the diet stuff. He drinks regular full sugar soda, 4, 5, 6 sodas a day. And he said, if in his comment, his throwaway was, yeah, he knows he should eat better, but he likes soda too much and he's not willing to give it up. He'll try for a couple of days and then he gets a massive headache and then he goes right back to it. And it just reminded me how sad that there's so many of us in this world that have such strong food addictions, whether it's to soda and sugary things, whether it's to carbohydrates and baked and processed things. Those things are designed to keep us addicted on purpose. And I'm lucky because I'm at a point now where I'm past that stage and I can look back and look back at it with anger at the companies and go, how dare you make these things to keep us sick, unwell, and addicted for your bottom line. But there's so many people out there who are still stuck in it, who don't realize a lot of times the extent of the health consequences. And so I didn't for years. It wasn't until 3.5 years ago that I realized how badly off I was. I thought I was eating healthy with whole wheat toast and peanut butter and all the fruit and all the, jams and nut jellies and things like that. Things that we're told are good for us. That be careful of sugar because of your teeth, but otherwise it's not evil, it's fat that's bad. We're all told lies. And it just made me grateful, first of all, to realize how lucky I am to have come to this point and to see that perhaps others are starting to hear that message now. And if my small voice can be one faint message in a world where there's so much misinformation and lies out there, then that's what I want to do. So I don't know, it's a bit of a heavy one for you guys, but I figured I better speak now before the jet lag hits me again this afternoon, which I think it will in a few hours. I'll be ready to go to sleep for the night. But I wanted to share this with you guys just to let you know I'm back, safe and sound. I made it. I'm just getting back on my UK circadian rhythm, if you like. But I'm here, doing well, had a fantastic visit, but so glad to be home where I know I can trust the quality of the water and the food, but also we have less people here, so a lot less pollution as well. So blessed, so grateful to be back. Thankful I got to visit a cool part of the world. Like I said, I've been to New York before, years ago in 2007. It was really great to be there this time and to be there for 2 weeks and to walk across the Brooklyn Bridge on 4 separate occasions and just walk around the World Trade Center area. It was awesome. It was a great visit. People were really cool and very friendly and helpful. And New Orleans was amazing. Such a great vibe. People there were fantastic. Overall, the food was amazing. Everywhere you ate, the food was good. The food was good wherever you went. And other than avoiding tap water, which wasn't as hard to do as I thought it would be. It actually ended up becoming pretty easy to do. It was a great experience. We were not too far away from the Mississippi. There was a outlet mall like half a mile down the street from us. We weren't that far away from it. So I walked to that a few times. We had like 26, 27 degrees Celsius every single day and pretty much sunshine every day, which was fantastic. I would definitely go back there. So again, I put these things out there about the water and stuff. If you're not used to it, just be careful. If you're from there and you grew up with that, it won't bother you because you'll be used to it. But if you're not, take precautions, buy bottled water or get water that's been purified. Don't drink it straight from the tap. That's my little tidbit of advice for you. Other than that, guys, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all in good spirits, and if you're not, just hopefully you're encouraged to know that there is always hope. God is always looking out for us, even at those times where it might not feel like he's there. He is. He always wants the best for us. He is moving, guiding us on the path of righteousness. Even when we can't quite see where we're stepping, we can at least see the path ahead, and that's amazing. That's how great God is. So I hope you have a fantastic Saturday. I will have much more content over the next little while, but if you don't hear from me for a few days, that's me trying to get over jet lag and not feel like I'm kind of Google-eyed and woo from the time zone difference. So just if you don't know, so the time difference between New Orleans and Colchester, England is 6 hours, and it's an 8.5-hour flight. So you kind of land the day you arrive, right? Yeah, you arrive the day that you left, if you will, if you work out the time difference and length of flight and all that. So anyways, I'm a little bit backwards and forwards right now, so if I'm rambling, please forgive me. I will have more content very soon. Thank you guys so much for your support and your words of encouragement. All the best to all of you. I hope you're all having great springs and enjoying lovely weather wherever you are. And I will be back with a new video very soon. Bye for now, guys. Take care.